Hi, I'm Jamie, and I'm a watch nerd. So this is my first full review of any watch on this channel. And I decided to start off, I'm going to review my lovely little Tissot Visodate here. I decided to choose the Visodate because this watch has an enormously special place in my heart, as it was the first watch I ever bought myself. I feel like this is a watch that I know inside out and will be perfect for me to start with. So I'm going to split my review into several categories to make it a little bit more digestible for you. I'm going to talk about brand, design, functionality, finishing, value, and USP. So without any further stalling for time, let's get into it. Tissot are a luxury Swiss watch brand with a long and storied history dating all the way back to 1853. And in that time, they're known for a few notable inventions and watch milestones, including being the first watchmaker to release a mass-produced pocket watch, being the first watchmaker to release a pocket watch with 2 time zones, being the first to release an anti-magnetic watch, as well as being the first company to produce watches out of materials such as plastic, stone, mother of pearl, and wood. And this just names a few of the innovations that they've achieved over their history. And not very many watch brands can claim that. And even though they were bought out by the Swatch Group a few years ago, I still think Tissot carries a huge amount of brand prestige. And so if that's something that you care about in your watch, and it's something that I care about, then this is a great place to start your watch collection off. The Visodate's design is a callback to the 1950s, where Tissot first introduced a date function to their automatic mechanisms, which they named the Visodate, which is where the watch gets its name from. And the design of the case and the dial are both callbacks to the 1950s as well. Lovely applied batons for every 5-minute interval with a minute track going around the edge as well. Stunning Dauphine sword minute and hour hands, and this lovely long elegant seconds hand with a spearhead counterweight, which I think is absolutely stunning. The date window is lovely and big to show off the function that the watch is named for, very easily read. The only issue I have with the window is that in all of the models it has a white backing, which works really well on the silver dial because it just kind of blends in. But on the darker dials it really stands out, and it actually draws attention away from the rest of the dial and is a little bit distracting and kind of sends it off balance a little bit. So if I were you, I would look at the silver dial over the darker colours. The case is all stainless steel in this really unusual, really lovely kettle design that tapers out as you go towards your wrist, which makes it wear smaller on the wrist than its 40mm would have you think, which I think is actually a really good thing. I think watches that wear smaller are much more elegant. The lug width is 20mm, which makes it perfect for changing out straps, and I do quite a lot. And it has a gorgeous domed sapphire crystal, which stands proud above the top of the case, which is a really unusual thing, at least to me, and gives it this really unique aspect. The only issue you might think of is that it's standing tall means that it might be more prone to scratches and more prone to being caught on stuff. And this could be true, but I have to say that in the 5 years I've had it, it's never been an issue for me. And also having sapphire at this price point is a great plus. The design also features an exhibition case back, allowing you to see the movement at work, which I think is a wonderful thing for a watch at this price point. For me, when I bought my first watch, being able to see that mechanism at work, it's a really magical thing to be able to look at. So if this is your first watch, I'd really think about it from having the exhibition case back. It's a really good aspect to have for a watch at this price point. There are actually quite a lot of collection options for this watch. So when I first bought mine, there were only 2 options. You could get the silver dial and the black dial on brown and black leather straps respectively. But now you can get them on all sorts of different things. You can get them on an official Tissot Milanese, which is absolutely lovely. You can get loads of different dial colors, including blue. You can even get different case colors. You can get a gold one. And you can even get one dial which has numerals at the 12, 3, 6, and 9. So there are much more options out there for you now. The design as a whole is really true to the design of the 1950s, bringing that style to the 21st century, whilst also being enormously versatile, working on a range of straps. So even though I would classify this watch as a dress watch, you can really dress it up or dress it down by changing its strap out. So for me, it's quite run-of-the-mill at the moment on this Milanese, but if I put it on a lovely looking leather strap, it would really dress it up, work really well with a suit. If I put it on something like rubber, I could wear it quite easily with a tracksuit and it would still look fine. And that's what you want from a first watch. If this is your only watch, versatility is really important. I think as a whole, this design is really classic, really versatile, and really great as a first watch. So I'd really recommend taking a look at it from that point of view. If design is what's important to you, especially if you love heritage design, this is a really great watch to start your watch collection off with. The Visodate houses the workhorse ETA 2836-2 automatic movement standard in watches at this price point. And you can see that movement at work through the exhibition caseback. And it's really nicely finished as well, with a gold rotor with the Tissot logo on it. What I also didn't realize is that the Visodate comes in quartz as well. You have a signed non-screw down crown with a hand winding function and a 38-hour power reserve. But the focus of this watch and its main function is obviously that day-date window, which is lovely and big, as I've mentioned from the design, but that makes it really clear to read. It's also very easily set with the crown. You just pull the crown out halfway and you twist one way for the day and the other way for the date. But one really unique aspect about this date window, which I absolutely love about this watch, is that rather than having the day and the date change by just slowly rolling over a course of about an hour, it has this sudden snap change, which you can really hear audibly. Just watch and have a listen. So as I say, there's not a huge amount of complicated function, but this watch does everything that it wants and really highlights the thing that it's named for. And I think that's really great. The only thing that is missing that you might want from your first watch is you might want some more waterproofing. So this watch says it has 30-meter waterproof, and that basically only means that it's splash proof. So you could do the washing up in it, but I wouldn't ever go swimming. I wouldn't go out in the rain in it or anything like that. So if you want something that has that sort of functionality, if you want to do sport in it, then I wouldn't recommend this watch. But for anyone that doesn't need that, then this is a great option. So the finishing on the Visodate has more bells and whistles than you might expect for a watch at this price point. You've got this lovely retro applied logo on the dial. You've got applied batons, signed crown, high polished finishing all the way around the case, as well as some really lovely sharp edging on the lugs and around the edge of the case, which gives it a lovely sense of form. You've got a really nicely finished case back, as I mentioned, with the gold rotor and the logo applied on that. That looks really great. And also having that sapphire crystal is also a really nice high quality finish on a watch of this price. The only criticism I might have of this watch from that point of view is that the high polish all the way around does leave it a little bit more prone to scratching, and when you do get, especially if you get a big scratch, it does show up. And the other thing is that some people want a little bit more variety of finishes. They want a little bit more than just high polish. They want something a little bit more matted on there just to break up that design. It's not something that I care about, but if it's something that you care about, then maybe this isn't the watch for you. The leather straps that most of the watches come with a butterfly clasp, which is really nice. The leather straps themselves are a little bit unremarkable, just being simple cow leather with a crocodile stamp on. Personally, I changed them out. I changed it onto this aftermarket Milanese. I've also had various other straps. It works really well on all sorts of straps, so it's great to change out. But you can also get an official Tissot Milanese that you can get the watch on. Personally, I absolutely love this, and I would totally have kept it on that because it looks absolutely stunning. I think this watch really holds its own from a finishing point of view. Everything feels high quality, and I think that's something that's really important from your first Swiss watch. The automatic range, which is the range I'm focusing on at the moment, currently comes in at around £400 to £600, depending on where you buy it. If you buy it from Tissot officially, you'll be looking at around 500 to 550 mark for the main collection, which is a little bit of a markup actually from when I bought this watch. When I bought it, I got it at I think £380. So there's been a bit of a markup since then, but even with that markup, there's still a great value proposition from this watch considering its finishing and the quality that you're getting. So this is the section where I'm going to talk about any unique selling points that I think this watch has. A little bit of wow factor, because I think that's something that's really attractive when you're buying a watch. And for me, that selling point is that there are a lot of brands out there who are pushing heritage design, and rightly so. The Visodate is focusing on this really important part of their own history, the day-date window, and drawing on design that other people aren't drawing on. A lot of other people are drawing on Bauhaus. Bauhaus is very popular at the moment. But this 1950s sort of kettle design with the Dauphine hands, you're not seeing everywhere. And so having those unique aspects lets it sit on its own in the heritage market at this price point. And that is a really attractive option for me. Another aspect of this watch that I think is really great is that when I was looking at buying it for the first time, when I was looking at buying my first watch, I agonized over it for months, literally months. And I had a tick box system in my head of all the things I wanted from my first watch. And the Visodate happens to tick more boxes than any other watch. It has that lovely sweeping seconds hand that I was looking for. It has the exhibition case back that I wanted to see. I wanted to be able to see that movement working. It has a lovely, heritage, elegant, but really versatile design. It has an interesting brand history. Quality finishing and affordability, which in itself, all added together, makes this, to me, the perfect first watch for you to get. And that in itself is its own USP. For me, this is the perfect first Swiss watch for anyone to start their collection off with. Be it that you're buying it for yourself or as a gift for a friend or loved one. I can guarantee that they will absolutely love it. I've had this for 5 years now, and there has been no point in time where I've loved it any less than when I first walked out of the boutique. So my choice, if I was buying one today, I would still go with the silver dial. I think that is the best option from a design perspective. But rather than getting a leather strap, which is the only option I had available to me at the time when I bought it, I would get it on the official Tissot Milanese. I think that's the best option out there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick a link down there so that you can check it out for yourself. Check out the rest of the collection and maybe get one yourself. So there we are. That was my first watch review on this channel. I do hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought. If there's anything that I didn't mention that you'd like to hear, do let me know. As well, I'd love to know what your first Swiss watch was. So shove all of that down in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. I do try to reply to everybody. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, do please like and subscribe. And I hope you'll come back and join me again for some more watch content. But until then, cheerio.